Martell and Marsau are going at it. He says he could have had Tisha if he wanted to. This is the Fly Aunt, Ebony Ivory, and let's get into my Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, season 9, episode 6. So we're back at the messy field day. Martell and Marsau are going back and forth. Basically, Martell is saying Tisha is basically catching all the strays. He's saying that his boys was with Tisha. He could have had Tisha if he wanted to, and Tisha is just like nervously laughing it off. Martell is calling Marsau, saying he's fat and he's ugly. He's the worst looking one out of all the Scott brothers. And I'm just like, damn. So finally, Destiny gets Martell to kind of calm down and stop. Marsau kind of like walks away. He's like, he's over this. He sends Tisha home. And in Tisha's confessional, she says Destiny is the one that started all of this. She asked the questions and got Martell started. Tisha also calls Martell a liar. And, I'm telling you, that little friendship is going to start to unravel. So Maurice is over there making excuses for Martell's behavior. Oh, he's just getting a little emotional and this and that and other. I'm like, there's no reason for a man that age should be conducting himself the way that he's conducting it. And based out in the social media streets, people are loving the fact that Martell and Marsau got into it. You're seeing a lot of the women that are true Martell fans, they're praising him. And my thing is, people are saying he's outing them and it's the truth, but it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm just not convinced. And if you have a convincing argument for me, put it in the comments. So, next scene, we have Tisha and Marsau at a jewelry store. Marsau does not wear his wedding ring. Tisha would like for him to get a wedding ring and start wearing it again. So that's what she's at the jewelry store looking at. Marsau says wearing a wedding ring is a sign of obedience, not marriage. Let me know what you guys think. Should you wear a wedding ring, wear a wedding band if you're married? Let me know your thoughts on that. So as they're discussing this, Tisha divulges the fact that they were considering divorce last year and not being together. And I'm like, where was this story? Why didn't we get any of that story? Again, people are not really sharing their lives on this show. So she also brings up that, she had to back away from social media because it made her very sad and even depressive as well. And I'm surprised that the Mellometers didn't get blamed for that either. Look, y'all doing better. I don't even think the Mellometers was mentioned this episode. I think y'all doing a little bit better. So they're there looking at wedding bands, and I don't even remember or not if Marsau came away with a wedding band or not. All right, so the next scene is, this is so crazy to me. I did not think this would happen. I was not even expecting it. Mel and Tish went out for lunch. And this is Tisha, excuse me. They exchanged pleasantries, and Tisha brings up the fact that Destiny and Kimmy were trying to invite Mel to the field day that Destiny was hosting. Destiny says she ain't been to a field day since 6th grade and she has no need to attend. She says she's fully invested in meeting her money goals. So Mel then tries to get the tea on Maurice and his DUI. She wants to get Tisha's thoughts. Mel basically says she don't want to hear nothing from Maurice and his MLK speeches and this upstanding community member. She said he got pulled over for his DUI and got arrested, and a couple hours later he was back at Black with another bottle in his hand. It said Maurice is playing games and he don't really take it seriously. She divulges to Tisha that her grandmother was killed by a drunk driver. She's asking Tisha about the mugshot. Did she think that was lipstick on Maurice's lips? She's like, I didn't see it. Tisha playing blind and not saying anything. And people are kind of believing they just have a pact, that they're just not going to discuss his DUI altogether. Next scene, we got Destiny and Martell. They meet at a restaurant. Destiny basically says that, Martell, you owe me an apology for how you showed out. And Martell says, I kind of agree. And Martell in turn blames Destiny. He says, why would you ask me those two questions? You came back to back with the questions. And she says, well, while we were at Madani, aka storage closet, you said you felt the way. So I was giving you room to open up and discuss it. So Destiny brings up the fact that he owes Tisha an apology. She said it wasn't fair for Tisha to catch all them strays that he was shooting. Martell says Marsau and Tisha are one. So what's good for the goose is going to be good for the gander. Martell says Tisha accepts whatever Marsau does, and that is that. So then Destiny says, so what are you saying? They both, Mel and Tisha, accept respectful cheating? And he's like, absolutely yes. Well, if that's the case, if they both accept respectful cheating, why are you not married to Mel no more? And why Tisha and Marsau still married? Okay. Tisha, Destiny doesn't want to believe that. She says that's not true. She don't believe that Tisha would accept that. Oh, so you can only believe it when Mel says it because you don't like Mel. I mean, that's just what it gives. So, again, guys, please subscribe, like, and turn on your notifications when you get on these recaps, and subscribe. That helps boost the channel, and like and comment and engage with me. So the next scene, we got Fletcher and Marsau. Marsau is at one of his contemporary homes that he's building. He says he wants to bring the contemporary look to North Huntsville. And, Fletcher is checking it out. So far, they're in the early building stages, and, basically the framework is up and the electrical looks like it's going in, and he's liking what he's seen so far. So Fletcher is like, what's going on with you and Martell? Is everything that's happening, is this really about you making your comments on the podcast and not agreeing with him about the revenge piece? And he was like, yeah, that's it. And he's like, Fletcher's basically saying, where does the friendship go from here? And Marsau is saying it's not going nowhere. He was like, I don't want to be. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Martell does stuff, apologizes, does the same thing, apologizes. He said, I'm not interested in doing it back and forth. He said he can play with y'all like that, but he's not about to play with me like that. And Marsau brings up the fact that he done called your wife Fletch. He done called Nell a few times and called her side chick. He was like, again, he could play with y'all like that, but he not going to play with me like that. And I was like, that's right, Marsau, stand on business. So this is what I really can't believe. Trisha and Mel meet up at a coffee shop, okay? Cannot believe it. Them two meeting up because the way things left. So they meet up. Trisha makes an excuse as to why she didn't say goodbye on the trip. So she was saying people made it so awkward that she couldn't say goodbye. And I'm like, girl, you a bad liar. You really got to stay away from the lying because you're not good at it at all, okay? You should work on your deflect and disassociate. That's what you need to work on because you're a bad liar. So Mel said, well, to be honest, you made it kind of awkward. I was like, ooh. And she said, you made it awkward at the sunset dinner. So, Trisha brings up about going to Martell's house to train him. Mel questions Trisha about which house she went to. Because unbeknownst to us, of course, they probably have multiple homes, but this will establish a timeline of when they met up. So Ella's asking her, what color was the house? Trisha acting like she don't know. She's saying it's white. Then she said, well, how the driveway look? She don't know. She's like, Trisha was doing her best to be very evasive about how the house looked, how the driveway looked, which road did she take there. So Melody was like, well, what's the weather was like? Tisha was like, it was fall. And based on the stuff that Mel was pressing her about, Mel was able to put together a timeline when Trisha was went over to train Martell. And she was like, okay, well, you were at this house and I was gone by then, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, she asks a good question. She says, were you with Ken at the time that this happened? And she said, no. And you know what? The timeline is very slim. I don't know what's going to happen there, but Trisha is definitely hiding something. Very much something. Let me know if you guys agree. We're going to see what happens next episode. It gets even better. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you're notified when I upload another recap. Engage with me in the comments. Auntie loves you. I'll see you on the next recap. Bye-bye.